the box office, and I guess we can maybe kick this off with a little bit of box office banter, right? Sounds like a good idea, right? So, this was an article from The Hollywood Reporter. And it says, Jurassic World Rebirth is tracking to set off major box office fireworks with 100 million to 125 million opening weekend. Universal and Steven Spielberg's Amblin are restarting the franchise with an all-new ensemble cast led by Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and of course Jonathan Bailey. The movie opens over the long 4th of July holiday. If tracking is correct, Universal's Jurassic World Rebirth should open anywhere from 120 million to 125 million over the 5-day holiday corridor. The pick opens in North America on July 2nd, a Wednesday. Universal and Steven Spielberg's Amblin, home of the multi-billion-dollar franchise, are trying to manage expectations by stressing that the pick could come in on the lower end of tracking and even on the $90 million to $100 million opening range, and that's just pure domestic numbers. In 2015, Jurassic World opened to the series best at $208 million domestically. Not adjusted for inflation, the two films that followed were, of course, Fallen Kingdom and then 2022's Jurassic World Dominion, opening to $148 million and $145 million, respectively. The trio of films were anchored by, of course, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. And then in Dominion, you also had the stars of Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, as well as Sam Neill. The aptly titled Rebirth takes place 5 years after the events of Colin Trevorrow's Dominion, which featured an all-new ensemble cast led, of course, by Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, Manuel Garcia Rolfo, Luna Blaze, David Iacono, Audrina Miranda, Philippine Velge, forgive me if I mispronounce that, Bakir Sylvian, and of course Ed Skrein. I had no idea Ed Skrein was in this movie, but now I know. Gareth Edwards directed the 7th Jurassic from a script from David Koepp, who worked on, of course, Jurassic Park and, of course, The Lost World Jurassic Park. Insiders say the film cost far less than the last two on a net budget of $180 million before marketing. In Jurassic World Rebirth, only a limited number of dinosaurs reside in specialized biospheres, and 3 of these creatures hold the key to a potential life-saving drug. Covert operations expert Zora Bennett, played by Johansson, attempts to secure the genetic material from the dinosaurs, but ends up stranded with a civilian family on an island that holds a secret being kept from humanity for decades. I'm assuming that's the giant fucking mutant dinosaur. So, well, hey William, I see you in the chat, man. That feels right. Jurassic World making anywhere between 90 million at the very minimum to at the most 125. Again, over a, let's see, July 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, 4 or 5 day opening weekend, because they're going to collectively lump those Wednesday numbers into Sunday, all the way into Sunday. So that feels accurate. I'm gonna look, like, are tickets even on sale? Can I get a ticket for Jurassic World Rebirth right now? Let's pull up Fandango. Because I already got my ticket for Superman. I have not gotten my ticket for Fantastic Four, only because of there's a chance I'm still hopefully going to Comic-Con, so I'm coordinating with a bunch of the guys to potentially go see Fantastic Four. Okay, so I can go get tickets for Jurassic World Rebirth right now if I wanted to. And they're actually doing 12 a.m. showings on Tuesday, July 1st. Wow. That's the first time I've ever seen like a midnight showing for a movie in like close to a decade. This is actually really surprising. Are there any seats available for these 12:01 showings? I'm genuinely curious. Let's see. Huh. This is a late night Tuesday night, early Tuesday show. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's in 3D, though, and I don't want 3D. I don't really want 3D at all. D-Box, real 3D, I don't want... Okay, standard XD. Let's see. Wow, the whole mid-roll is already sold out. But if I wanted to go see Jurassic World at midnight, I could if I wanted to. Not going to, but tickets are on sale. We're about three-ish weeks away from that. Let's count. Let's see. 1, 2, give or take about 2.5 weeks away from Jurassic World Rebirth coming into the fold in the box office game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the current numbers for, of course, Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is currently sitting at a worldwide total of, oh my God, $810 million worldwide. Domestically, $350 million. Internationally, $459 million, for a worldwide grand total of $810,471,809. That's impressive. I'm saying, Dave's been saying it too. Lilo and Stitch probably gonna make the first $1 billion of the year. Wouldn't doubt it. All right, let's check with Mission Impossible. Actually, let's check the latest release from the world of John Wick, Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas. So last week we didn't have any numbers. I was just looking at projections from the Hollywood Reporter. We now have projections after the first week, projections. We have official numbers after the first week. We are looking at domestically $32,432,471 and internationally $26 million, for a grand worldwide total of $58 million. And the budget for this film was roughly somewhere between the $80 and $90 million range. Cracking about, 2/3 of that budget in its opening weekend. That's not bad. I mean, you usually want to break even on opening weekend, but for an action franchise that requires very little CGI, $58 million on a $90 million budget, that's not too bad. Just saying. Not too bad. I haven't seen it yet. I plan on seeing it. Hopefully, maybe. Well, actually, I'm probably going to end up waiting. A lot of this stuff I thought I was going to be able to see, but I just haven't had the time. Like Lilo and Stitch, like Mission Impossible, like all that. Just haven't had the time to go see it. But good for Ballerina. Hopefully, it has a great second week. All right. Let's see. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, is currently sitting at a worldwide total of $457 million. Looks like last week's drop, or rather as of yesterday, it had a 15% drop. And it looks like it's still playing in... It looks like Mission Impossible's only lost about 400 theaters, roughly. Like 350, 400 theaters. And it's still doing pretty solid, pretty good business. But even still, like, the budget for that film was apparently like $400 million before marketing. So they broke even on the budget. That's good. But hey, you also factor in the other, strikes and all that shit. That really didn't help the budget at all for Mission Impossible. So I guess whatever Paramount deems that movie successful is what they will deem it. But, good for Tom Cruise, still making that money. All right, Karate Kid Legends, on the other hand, $39 million domestically, $38 million internationally, for a worldwide total of course, $77 million. And I think this film didn't have a very high budget either. Right? Let's see. Reported budget was $45 million. Okay. So they're getting close to cracking even on that, and that's gravy. That's cool. So good for them. I still haven't seen it. Again, like, my time has just been very, I'm very sparse about what I go to the theater to. I really wish I could pull a Dave Film Junkie and just go every week and just have that time and dedicate that time. But frankly, I've got a brand new Nintendo Switch and I've just got other stuff going on. Like, I just can't afford to, but I will try. I will absolutely go out of my way to see all 3 movies in July. That'll be a good month for me. So there is that. I did watch Predator: Killer of Killers over the past weekend. I saw it on Saturday or Sunday. That was good, but it's a streaming movie. I'm looking forward to Badlands. Predator Badlands should be a fun time. But going back to Jurassic World Rebirth, yeah, like I said earlier, $90 million on the low end to $125 million being the absolute top. That's pretty solid, considering the film has a net budget of $180 million before marketing. So that's cool. Will this film have legs? like I've been saying in the last 2 box office banters, once Superman comes out, those dino legs are getting cut in half, if not more. I don't doubt one bit that Superman's box office will likely impact Jurassic World Rebirth immensely. Speaking of that, yeah, that's kind of it for the box office banter portion of this week. It's not super big. We'll wait and see what next week's numbers look like for the films I've listed and see how much better or worse Ballerina's doing. But tickets for Superman have gone on sale. I really should have made these banners before I started. They're on sale, and it seems to be doing pretty good. I guess it broke the Fantastic Four numbers or whatever. I mean, it's a little early, you know. A month out before the movie's release is usually the rule of thumb for when they do the ticket price drops or the ticket sales. That's usually when ticket sales go into effect, roughly a month before the movie's release. And considering July is packed with, of course, Jurassic World, then Superman, then you have Smurfs and I Know What You Did Last Summer on the same day. So there's that. And then, of course, the following week after that is Fantastic Four First Steps. Yeah, according to Luis Fernando, I've been hearing and I've seen just images of people talking about, you know, how highly anticipated the Superman movie is and how well it's doing as far as tracking, well, not tracking, but ticket sales are going. Probably, I would guess within the next 2 weeks, we will probably have a much more concrete idea of what Superman's opening box office weekend could look like, because I have been saying for a while that 150 to 175 million dollar thing has been kind of overblown with no concrete evidence behind it outside of, quote, people doing social media research. Well, social media research only gets you so far. Just because someone views something or just because you have a giant number of views does not mean every person who saw that, every million or every 30 million, that does not mean all 30 million people who witnessed that will actively go and see the product. So, and that's not me trying to be dismissive of Superman. I'm just saying, like, it's important to just keep in mind, like, people watch this stuff and they determine whether or not they will go see it. Yes, the numbers from a visual standpoint do look good. I will not fault that whatsoever. But I will just say that, like, again, we will get a better idea of what Superman's opening box office weekend will look like the closer we get to its imminent release.